just chill. But I thought I'd give a little, see what's shaking, see if anybody come through today. I understand it's heavy on the Sunday action, so we're gonna see what's up. Turn my computer on, see what we're dealing with. Conversations up on here. So we're gonna see, you know, you know. So just listen in, see what's up. So we talking about, I know there's a lot of playoff spots that we talking on the sports tip. So I just got through doing some videos, just touching base on some things. I didn't catch. Yeah, I saw that about Giannis last night. He scored 48, but they lost. That's crazy. So, Pittsburgh in the playoffs. Houston in the playoffs. So, today's a big day in the NFL, so we'll see how things go. Some games will count for something, so we'll see what's up. I'm just going to look at some of this stuff I'm taking a peek over. Yeah, it's hard to believe that this is the last week of the NFL officially season. Who will get dropped tomorrow? It's going to be some interesting moves. Who will and who won't? I think, believe it or not, Green Bay still got a chance to make the playoffs too. It's crazy. New England 4-12. Is that the end of Belichick in New England? That's gonna be interesting. Just thought I kind of skimmed some of this stuff. Boy, Detroit won the division. It's gonna be some. Basically, if Jacksonville wins, they don't make the playoffs, and if they lose, they don't make the playoffs. So they gotta win. They win, they get the 2 seed. They lose, they don't make no seed. Miami loses, they still get 6 seeds. So it's gonna be interesting. It's been a real interesting game. Pulled for Michigan, but I wouldn't be shocked if Washington beat them too, because Washington is a good enough team. Not a great team, but good enough team to be a problem. So it's a lot of things going on with that. So unpredictable college football year. So we'll see how things go. Cut it to about 10 minutes today. Had a nice long chat yesterday on here, and I just thought I'd come back here for a Sunday groove, see if I could catch anybody was up on, But some people had a long night, different things going on, so it's all good. Ain't no thing. Just kind of up here just talking. I just got through doing a video where I talked about, Chuck D was talking about ageism, and he's talking about defending Madonna against trolls because some people were hating. But he had to compare it to racism. Ageism and racism is two different. That came through me, and I was talking about basketball. I gave Sidney Moncrief, the great Milwaukee Buck, his due. He doesn't get talked about near enough. That was a bad dude back in the day. Moncrief could play some defense. He could hang on the rim. The dude had hops. He was tough. Doesn't get talked about near enough like he should. So, he didn't win. They had situations where, but, it's just like in music too. Now, that's a little bit different, but sometimes there were artists, either didn't get the right songs. It comes down to just having the right songs, because you can have the talent if you ain't got the right songs. It's similar in that regard. That's something that they have in common. You got to have the right stuff. It always comes down to having the right stuff and being the stars align and things. So, you just kind of look and think back to how long it seemed like that long ago. Really important. So, just having those flashbacks, just thought I would try to touch base on that. Like I said, there's a lot going on. Some people are still what's up? You caught me at the right time. What's up? What's up? I'm going to be here for a good half hour, so if you got some questions, feel free to fire them up. Yeah. Just sitting up here, just up here for a moment. Yeah, well, you can make the playoffs. Justin Fields is balling right now. Justin Fields is playing for his livelihood. So it's not going to be easy to play some defense early year. You two teams would be giving Detroit a real run. That division would actually have been worth jury's still out. Because not so much Chicago do anything, but Justin Fields, he definitely will be more appealing on the market. I do think Chicago will probably try to make that move. And he's only going to get better. Big game for Jordan Love because you get in, you could be a little bit of a problem. Could definitely be a problem. His confidence has gone up. So, interesting situation here. Next year could be good. No, he hasn't. But next year, that division could be real interesting. Could be one of the best divisions in the NFL. If Detroit's for real, and the Falcons should. They should. So should Washington. Fields is the kind of dude 2 or 3 teams should be putting the bid in for. Shoot, if I'm the Raiders, I might consider it too. I mean, I'm just saying. New Orleans too. Let's not act like there ain't about 5, 6 teams that couldn't use him and his style right now. I mean, if he can get 8 wins out of a 7-8 win, they sure could, because Geno ain't gonna last much longer. They sure as heck, because they stuck with the cat, the backup lock. Yeah, but Seattle's kind of cheap though, so with Pete Carroll ain't gonna spend that kind of money. But Fields could definitely. There's about 5, 6 teams. Definitely. If you see the upside of him like you're seeing it now. Yeah. Because the teams I'm seeing around the league ain't that far off. Seattle ain't far off. The Raiders ain't that far from being a playoff team. So that's the reality. That's a glaring reality. Definitely. I mean, of course, New England could use him too, but ain't nobody trying to go New England. Quiet has kept the Jets could too, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back the same either. So Denver could use him, but I don't know if it's Sean Payton. I don't know. Giants could use him too. Like I said, there's about 6, 7, there's probably about 8, 9 teams could use Justin Fields. He could take over jobs left and right. So trying to see what else I see. So yeah, I'm watching Atlanta. But first we gotta beat Miami. It's gonna be Baltimore. It's gonna be Baltimore. Unless if Flacco gets hot, but if that's the case, then the AFC is gonna be crazy open for years to come. If that's the case, if it comes to Cleveland, Buffalo, but I don't see it though. We got to beat Miami first, and I just think that Baltimore's on a mission. Cleveland's gonna be tough though, but Flacco does look like himself sometimes, so let's not get carried away. He did have a pretty bad interception in the last game I saw last week, so I'm not saying that he can't resort back to that. But usually the December, January version of him looks unbeatable. Well, you're forgetting about San Francisco, because I don't look at Philly as the second best or the best team in there. I think Frisco's the team to beat. I don't see Detroit or Philly beating Frisco or Dallas. Nobody would want to see Detroit and Cleveland in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to keep it 100, unless they're fans of the places. Football fans, even though they root for their team, they still want what we call the 60 pick. That's not a happening Super Bowl. That would be like kind of watching, if this was the NBA Finals, it'd be kind of like watching uh, Minnesota and Atlanta in the finals. Nobody can watch that. I'm just telling it 100. Nobody would watch Detroit and Cleveland in no Super Bowl. Jared Goff and Flacco are not believable. Not for that kind of stakes. Just saying. And you could say, I think it's fixed or rigged, and I ain't got no problem if you say that, but we don't always get that. We're not getting that kind of Super Bowl. We're just not. Yeah, well, I don't know if they even want that. They would, if they had their way, probably Kansas City, San Francisco. Or Kansas City, Dallas, or Buffalo, Dallas, or Buffalo, Frisco, or uh, it'd be something that, or Pittsburgh and Frisco in the Super Bowl, something that you was familiar, because this how it go. But I can't see Kansas City going because they ain't got nobody can catch the ball. That's the problem. Believe me, Mahomes had a receiver with some hands. That team might be 13-3 or 14-2 or something crazy right now because they lost 3 or 4 games because the cats just can't catch the ball or being stupid. So that's what's up. Yeah, just checking out something quick. You know. Yeah, they did, but yeah, he had a right to be mad. But see, they don't do that to the white quarterbacks. Tom Brady get on the sideline and bark and show his teammates. They don't say nothing. You know, Belichick, bro, was like, "Oh, what's wrong with him?" But I don't understand why he was mad because they should have won that game. That was a heck of a play. It's just the dude was offside, but that was a heck of a play though. That play goes. That's the difference right now between them pretty much not being a second seed and being where they are. But that's their season. It's always a foot off or a drop off or something dumb, you know. But yeah, it's double standards, you know. So he doesn't have to bite his tongue. It's just that Russell sold himself out a long time ago to be a mild mannered, wanted to be a certain type of player. And he was arrogant enough when he went to Denver because they had desks and they had all kinds of stuff set up for him. And he did not work on his game. He did not prove even the whole thing that happened with Denver that first game against Seattle. Hackett wouldn't let him go for it on fourth down. They rather kick a long distance field goal than him, and he was never the same in Denver. That was the end of his season right there. That first game against Seattle, and he didn't get that fourth down opportunity. But I don't feel bad for him. He took advantage of certain shit. The only thing I say is this: yeah, Sean Payton is a big, and I don't like him, but that ain't had nothing to do with it didn't have anything to do with how they Russell wanted the desk, and he wanted the diva treatment, and he wanted to be treated and pampered. So that was on Russ. Russell wasn't bringing it last year. He sucked last year. But this year, what happened, that's not on Russ. So take your pick. I don't think he treated him like with respect at the end, because if he did, he wouldn't have left. I think that Pete Carroll went out of his way. He wanted the quarterback to shine. And Richard Sherman and Beast Mode, Marshawn, and no cat didn't. So there was the reply. I mean, but again, remember, you're the quarterback, you're the leader of the team. You're going to have a certain arrogance and a smugness about you, especially when you're undrafted, like he did, and how he turned out to be what he turned out to be. So I get it. However, he was cornball because I used to see his corny commercials there, and they, blopped him up to be something, and he started falling off. It wasn't the same anymore. So Russell's one of those kind of people that he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He had a good career. He proved himself as a winner, and he came through. However, his wheels came off. He looked bad last year, and I can't justify that. So I see why they let him go. So. But, he had a great stay in Seattle, and it's a shame that he didn't get to finish his career there, because this whole thing in Denver it went wrong, and we all saw it coming. So, he was pretty much, they should have probably traded him after 2018. Yeah, I am. Because Washington, though they're not a great team, they're the kind of team they find ways to win, and Michael Vick is a quarterback. That's a bad dude. I mean, they score. They should lose games. Let me tell you something. It's almost like you're playing against a team that's got like a rabbit's foot and a four-leaf clover all rolled in one, because they should lose games. They don't. They stick around. They win. I'm not nervous because I think that they're a great team. I just think that they got a lot of good lucky coins that can hang with teams. But I'm not. It's not the way you think. Your Ohio State teams, I'll be nervous about, because I know they could beat you in the mouth and they could get physical and win. This is different with Washington. Washington is one of those kind of teams that, you have to outright just smack them up and beat them. Because if you play cute with them, they'll beat you. Yeah, he did. And he's the reason why. It's not because I'm sold on the team. And you might say I'm dissing them. No, they're an okay team. But he is something else. Here's the difference. If it wasn't for him, I'd say, yeah, we should beat that butt easily. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't even be there right now. They'd be playing in the Sunbath Bowl or Sunbathing Bowl, because they're not a bowl tier team without him. They're all right. But I'm going to tell you something. I've seen some reels on a different tangent. So that's the difference. I've seen better Washington teams, but they haven't had a lot of quarterback sets on this guy's level. This guy is something else. So, but if they don't get caught being cute, because that's what happened last week with Texas. Texas got cute, got their ball stripped. Texas kicks a couple field goals or don't turn the ball over a couple of times, they might win that game, or at least overtime at the worst. Had a chance. That's the only thing with that Washington team. It's always close. Yeah, well, until y'all get a great one, y'all not going to be a threat. Because, y'all be good enough to win your usual 10, 11, but y'all ain't going to be a threat to go all the way. That's what's holding you back. Clown, if you will, on Urban Meyer, but he always got the job done. Y'all haven't gotten the job done since, so just saying. That's the only reason why I'm not worried about Ohio State, because they don't have that dude that I got to go, uh-oh. But you still going to be in it, though. You'll be top tier. It's just that you won't be the top of the tier. Like I said before, I never know nothing because until I see guys get in the team they're with, the system they're with, I don't know. Could be, but again, you just don't know how guys are going to turn out. It's different with college and the pros. Even though they play more prorated, it's hard to say because I didn't see Mahomes and Lamar. So I can't go by a quarterback in college. It's different. It's different. It depends on who his system is, his team is. That's true. That's why I'm not worried about you. No, I'm not worried about him right now. I can't believe I'm saying that because I can't stand y'all. I got respect for y'all come bowl time, but y'all not playing for no money bowl. Y'all playing for maybe Fiesta Bowl. You still get a top tier bowl, but you ain't. You know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I mean. You ain't that team right now. Just like, but you're one bowl ahead of what Penn State is, because Penn State's a tier below you. Yeah, well, that's between y'all and them. I ain't got no problem with it because we've been beating y'all lately, so I'm not complaining. But if you're an Ohio State fan, yeah, that turkey got to go. So yeah, yeah, that's kind of how I look at it with that. So yeah, yeah, yeah. But he'd have to be in a situation where he would want to, and it had to have the right situation. This year didn't really humble him at Colorado because those kids got paid and got all the lifestyle and all that stuff, and Cats just didn't play. And I don't think he could. I don't think he could go through that if it don't work out. He still needs a little bit more seasoning, though. I don't think he's quite ready this year. I mean, he could come out, but I would say give him another year because he didn't finish up as strong as he could have. I think they got some humble pie this year, so we'll see. I believe he can play in the NFL level, but I think another year wouldn't hurt him. You know. But it was definitely some humble pie this year, Serge, out for Colorado. Got to learn how to finish. Got to learn how to play consistent. Got to learn how to play full quarters. Got to get some discipline. I do believe when he gets to what he wants there, that's going to be a school that cats will go to. But he definitely got served humble pie this year. Definitely. Definitely. So we'll see. Yeah, it happens. It's been that way, you know. Um, again, it's politics. You know how it go. I mean, I grew up I remember when the cats didn't even get to play or they got moved to another position. But a lot of it is because they want to come out and structure them a certain way. But when they need mobility and they need to get out there and make that move, that goes out the window. But yeah, it's different. I've always seen that. Mahomes had to sit, but hey, you saw what turned out, so you know. And I doubt Alex Smith will ever talk trash about him like he did about Tom Brady. I remember. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. I've seen them all go through that again. It's a different structure. They somehow think that they can't move and go at the same time, and it's such a fast pace. But mobility, you know, mobility. Doug Williams didn't sit there when he came to Tampa Bay. He got to play, but he picked on a lot quicker than Vinny Testaverde and Steve Young did in Tampa Bay. Let that be known. See, Dak got to play in Dallas, even though Jerry Jones didn't want him to. He didn't know what to expect, but he made himself into something. So, again, but they get treated differently. Nothing new, and they still haven't figured out the black quarterback. Well, yeah, because he was that good. I mean, Cap came along and was something else. Alex Smith was a good quarterback in an old kind of way, but he wasn't going to be a great quarterback. And he gave way to guys who were better. And it wasn't that he sucked, it's just that he just wasn't those guys. You know, Cap was better than obviously Mahomes, so what you gonna do? It happens. San Francisco over Cincinnati back in 88, 89. That comes to mind because I got to think about that one. Washington over Denver because that was the most, oof, it was a blowout. I had none. The drop ball by Jackie Smith in the end zone. That was a classic Super Bowl. Those three come to mind off the top. I would say I was impressed by Kansas City over Frisco, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that bomb to Tyreek Hill made them legendary. Jimmy Garoppolo missing Emmanuel Sanders on that bomb. Jimmy Garoppolo never was the same. So those are four that come to mind. Yeah, that Steelers Cardinals game was really good. Yeah, that Harrison interception was classic. That was the way it ended was classic too. It was a nail biter. It was a really good game. That was a great game. I give you that. That was a great game. Patriots, Giants, the first one. I mean, you can go New England always had incredible ones, so they had some very memorable ones. Okay, what is this? I'd say 77, 78, back to back. Those were two of classics. I'd say Dodgers over Oakland. Because then it was a 4-0 sweep. That Kirk Gibson home run was surreal. I'll never forget that night. 96 was something else. Like that one a lot. Houston, Washington. That was a crazy World Series. That's one of the greatest. Cincinnati, Boston, 75. So those come to mind. Toronto over Philadelphia, Joe Carter with the walk-off 92. That comes to mind. Minnesota over Atlanta. That comes to mind. So there you go. So I gave you 70s, 80s, 90s. I'd say the World Series has probably been my more, baseball's had more intriguing ones. The NFL for me, I said 70s, 80s. Was just in the 90s that I liked a lot. No, not really. So baseball gave me the more. Yeah, it was. Arizona won it. You know. Yeah. I got to roll in about 3 minutes because I got to make a call and I might come back. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Those are the ones that come to mind, though. Those come to mind off the top. I hope I answered those questions for you because those were the top of my own. I think baseball got more overall and in different areas. Well, the only Bills Super Bowl that was compelling of those first against the Giants, the ones against Dallas, they just turned the ball over. Even though Dallas was a more talented team, the only Super Bowl that we lost where we didn't have a chance on the field, ironically, won. The Dallas games, we choked the ball. I ain't gonna hide. It wasn't memorable, though. The Giants, when the first one was the most memorable one because the way Norwood missed that field goal wide right. That was memorable. Washington beat our behind up. That was the most physical, even though Washington was not the best team we played in the Super Bowl, but they're the ones who tore our behinds up the worst. The Dallas ones, we turned the ball over. That was it. Turnovers, Emmitt Smith, Eggman had some big plays. That's what it was. It wasn't because they were so superior. We turned the ball over. So no hiding. But that one against the Giants was considered a classic. I'll give you that. We got beat up the second one, and then we turned the ball over the last two against Dallas. So. But now when it comes to money time, it works during the regular season. But again, teams devise up plays to stop you, so you don't get that luxury, come money time. So, got to play a full brand of football, and you ain't going to win by just doing stuff like that. So, you got to bring it. And that's what ended up happening to us. So, yeah. So, but it was fun to watch different offenses. Well, Dolphins' problem is that they don't play no defense. And if you don't let Tua go beat you deep, and you make him have to work the middle of the field or shorten the field on him, he will throw a pick and he'll get hit. He'll take unnecessary hits. That's his problem. He's good as long as he can go deep and can hit Waddle or hit Tyreek deep. But when he has to play middle of the field or dunk and dunk, or he starts taking them pops, that's not his strength. And they aren't good defensively. They're a very finesse team, So I hope you're right, because I am going to look forward to it, though. So, but, they're fun to watch. But, again, you know how that goes. Usually teams that are fun to watch don't usually win nothing. There's a reason why you're fun to watch, because you don't last long, So, anyway, I'm going to get ready to make that move, though. I might come back. If I don't come back, I'll definitely be back next weekend. But I'm glad you came through. Keep the questions coming. We will definitely chop it up, and I'm looking forward to how this Sunday goes. And I'll let you know my thoughts about what happened with Michigan and what happened with the Bills. So, peace and the best. Appreciate you. I'm out.